Be me, 29, resident physician. Personal life, flatline. Social energy, permanently out of stock. Sleep, optional. Average day. 7 a.m., hospital. 11 p.m., still hospital. 1 a.m., collapse into bed and question my life choices. Friends keep asking, when was your last date? Me. If talking about gallbladders at 2 a.m. counts, then last night. The only person who still shows up in my life, Lena. We've been friends since school. She lives 2 buildings away, bursts in with a bottle of wine like it's a medical emergency. Every week, I look like a half-dead intern. She sits down, pours wine, starts talking about random things. Tells me how some guy tried flirting with her at a bar. He said he owns a coffee shop. I said, I'm allergic to guys who brag. I nearly choke on my drink. She laughs like nothing can really touch her. It's the kind of laugh that makes you forget how exhausted you are. Then she looks at me with that calm, dangerous kind of smile. You do realize your love life is worse than my cat's, right? Me. My schedule isn't exactly romantic. We could just not overthink it. No drama, no pressure, just us when you have time to breathe. I thought she was joking. She wasn't. I say yes. She smirks like she already knew I would. That's how it started. 2 weeks after that night, Lena shows up again with wine and that same calm smile. We should make some ground rules, she says. I almost laugh because it sounds like she's negotiating a treaty, not a fling. Rule 1, no drama. Rule 2, no falling in love. Rule 3, keep it simple, keep it quiet. She says it like she's done this before. I nod like I know what I'm doing. We don't plan anything. It just happens. Sometimes after my shifts, I crash on her couch. Sometimes she climbs into my lap mid-conversation and it turns into something else. Then she goes back to teasing me about my terrible cooking skills. She never complains about my schedule. Never texts when I disappear for 2 days on call. Never asks for promises. Instead, she brings cheap red wine and warm light into my messy world. Talks about random people who tried to flirt with her. Some guy said I looked like trouble, she laughs. I told him he wasn't qualified to handle it. I pretend I'm not jealous, because technically I have no right to be. She tosses me her keys one night. Just in case. Cat food's under the sink, you know the drill. And just like that, her place starts to feel dangerously close to home. We say it's nothing serious. 3 months in, we keep saying it's casual. But the way she knocks on my door at midnight doesn't feel casual anymore. She walks in wearing my t-shirt like it belongs to her, drops a bag of takeout on the table and says, "You look like someone forgot to water you for a week." We eat on the couch, legs tangled, talking about everything but us. She tells me about some guy at the gym who asked for her number. He said I have a dangerous smile. I told him I carry pepper spray. I laugh, but there's a pinch of something sharp in my chest. She notices but doesn't call it out. Instead, she rests her head against my shoulder. My brain tries to remind me it's supposed to be simple. My heart clearly didn't get the memo. She starts leaving little things at my place. A book, her favorite mug, hair clips in the bathroom. I don't move them. Part of me likes seeing them there. One night, after a brutal shift, I show up at her door without warning. She doesn't ask questions, just opens the door, pulls me in, and says, "Shower's free." We end up lying on her couch, her hand on my chest, heartbeat finally slowing down. And for a moment, it feels less like an arrangement and more like a life. 5 months in. Whatever this is between us stopped feeling like a deal a long time ago. But neither of us is brave enough to say it out loud. She comes over on a rainy night, soaked, hair sticking to her face. Drops her bag, sighs like the world's been sitting on her shoulders. I offer her a towel. She ignores it and walks straight into my arms. She doesn't say anything, just buries her face against my neck like she's trying to hide from everything outside this apartment. No wine, no flirting, just her heartbeat against mine. Later, she sits cross-legged on my bed, holding a glass of wine. Then she says it, soft, careless, but it lands hard. "You're the only one I don't have to explain myself to." My chest tightens. I want to say something back, but the words die in my throat. She leans closer, not for anything serious. Just rests her forehead against mine. We sit like that for a while, no pretending this time. And the no feelings rule quietly burns itself to the ground. 7 months in. Everything feels too easy. She starts pulling back first. Fewer late night visits. Less teasing, more polite smiles that don't reach her eyes. One night, I ask, "Did I do something?" She shakes her head too quickly. "No, you didn't." That's the problem. It's not an argument. It's worse. One of those quiet, sharp conversations that leave bruises on the inside. "This wasn't supposed to get serious," she says. I want to tell her I never meant for it to either, but somewhere along the way, it did. "We should take a break," she adds, and it hits harder than I expect. I nod like it's no big deal, like I'm made of stone. But when the door closes behind her, it feels like someone just unplugged the world. Weeks pass, no calls, no texts. Her mug is still on my shelf, untouched. I pretend I don't look at it every morning. People at work ask if I'm fine. I say, yeah. No one believes me. 2 months after the break, I finally learn from a mutual friend that she's not doing fine either. One evening after a long shift, I end up outside her building. No plan, just this quiet pull I can't ignore. Lights still on in her apartment. Door unlocked like she never got around to changing that habit. Inside, silence. Living room messy in a way that isn't her. I find her in the bedroom, fast asleep, curled up around a pillow. And not just any pillow. It's wrapped in my old hospital robe, the one she used to steal when she came over after my shifts. She looks exhausted. I sit down carefully on the edge of the bed. Her hand shifts in her sleep, fingers brushing my knee like muscle memory. My chest tightens. I whisper, "I should have said it. I should have told you." She stirs, half awake, mumbles my name. And for the first time in weeks, I feel like I can breathe again. She wakes slowly, blinking at me like she's not sure I'm real. When she finally realizes I'm sitting at the edge of the bed, she stiffens. "Why are you here?" "Because I couldn't stay away anymore," I answer. Simple, honest, no wall to hide behind this time. She looks away, fingers fidgeting with the edge of the blanket. "You disappeared too," she whispers. "You didn't fight for this. For me." And she's right. I thought giving her space was the kind thing. Turns out it was just me being scared. "I thought that's what you wanted," I say. She shakes her head, eyes shining now. "I wanted you to make it clear you didn't." Silence stretches between us. Then she lets out a shaky laugh. This is such a stupid way to love someone. I laugh too, because she's right. We've spent months pretending feelings don't exist. And here they are, spilling out like a dam just cracked. "I miss you," I finally say. Not as a confession, just truth. She looks at me then, really looks at me. And something in her face softens. She reaches for my hand like it's the most natural thing in the world. "Then don't disappear again," she whispers. "Not a chance." A week later, her place doesn't feel like a stranger's apartment anymore. It feels like the exact spot I should have been standing all along. She moves around the kitchen barefoot, humming under her breath. She pours 2 glasses of wine, slides one across the counter. "So," she says, leaning on her elbows, "what exactly are we now?" Old me would have dodged the question with a joke. This time, I don't flinch. "We're done pretending," I say. Simple, clear, no escape hatch. She stares at me for a beat, then smiles. Slow, warm, dangerous in the best way. "Good," she whispers. I was getting tired of acting. That night isn't some movie ending. She leans into me, head on my shoulder. "You know," she says softly, "I never gave my keys to anyone else." My hand finds hers without even thinking. "Then I guess I should stop losing them." She laughs, quiet and real, the kind of sound that makes the whole world feel less heavy. And for the first time in a long time, nothing feels temporary anymore.